Alrighty, so this week we're covering, as you may have seen already above, animation. Woo! So animation is something that's near and dear to my heart. It's what my degrees are in. But we're doing animation inside of Photoshop. So what I did is, if you look at the website, you'll see a bunch of different options or a bunch of different illustrations of basically principles. And so you should try to apply those into your animation that you make. Now, the animation may be whatever you like. I don't care what it is necessarily. I mean, I do, but the subject matter is up to you. I would just suggest when you're making animations inside of Photoshop, it's best served to do them in a more artistic slant, meaning not maybe necessarily kind of a traditional Saturday morning cartoon kind of looking thing, although you're totally free to do that as well. Just as other apps that do that particularly well. Well, Photoshop just has really great illustration tools built into it. Usually if I'm using Photoshop, that is what I'm using it for. I would use a different software. I'm just trying to create like general traditional animation. Anywho, what you're going to find in this assignment is basically I made 3 videos after this one that you'll see, and those are for are 3 basically options. Okay, so the first is pixelation. Basically, it's animating people, but you can also apply the same principles to stop motion. So if you want to do stop motion, I'm okay with that too, or you can do pixelation where you're animating people. That's probably the easiest. If you're a photographer person, it'd probably be what I would suggest for you, just because that actually might be applicable to you in the future. I've seen some professional photographers, they'll add that as part of their their portfolio of things that they are capable of doing and services they offer. Now, if you are, so then after that, I have rotoscope animation, which is probably the second easiest to do, or at least, I don't know if I want to say easiest, but it's probably second easiest. Basically, what that's going to involve is you're going to record a piece of footage or get a piece of footage, whatever you want to use, from life, and then you draw over top of it. You bring in the piece of footage, and then frame by frame, you just draw on top of that footage in order to create your animation. You have a couple different ways. You can either just like draw directly over top of it and make it look like a sketchy version of whatever the original film was, or you can change it in some way and just use that as the base and animate your own character over top of it, or whatever you want to do really with it. Okay, so that's the second one, and that one's pretty straightforward because you just kind of draw it. You can be doing other things while you're doing it. I find it very relaxing because you're just it's almost like coloring. You know what I mean? Like a coloring book kind of a thing, because you're just following what was given to you. And then the third one, which probably takes the most skill because you're basically working with nothing, is just doing straight old school hand-drawn animation, traditional, basically just drawing frame by frame by frame, and you're just making your own thing. And in the tutorial, all I do is make a ball bounce. So probably what I would suggest with that one, most of these what you're going to want to do is just watch them quickly, I guess, and then do it yourself. Because, so I would do the ball bounce, and then when you're done with the ball bounce, then make your own animation, and it can be whatever you like, okay? But hopefully that would be a good enough guide to kind of get you through it. But whatever you choose out of any of these, just try to keep them simple and concentrate on quality, not quantity, okay? Don't try to do a big, long narrative, because trust me, there's not enough time to do that. It's a very time-consuming process, animation. In comparison to other mediums, it's the worst. So, that's it. So you can choose any one of those ones that you want to do. So basically, you can do pixelation / stop motion, a rotoscope animation, or hand-drawn animation, or if you have something else that you have in your mind, you can do that too. I want you to try and think outside the box, do something new and creative and novel and interesting. All right. So good luck. Choose wisely.